So today's fun adventure is the beginning of getting the land ready. So it's like, what do you get first? The septic, the driveway, the electricity, the water. And it's kind of like an all-in-one kind of thing, like how we're kind of have to get almost everything done around the same time. So our first step at the moment is getting a driveway. And we're very fortunate because my mother-in-law, Karen, she has had a waitressing job here when she moved, because she was living in Georgia and she moved out here to Texas when she sold her property out there. And she has gotten a waitressing job at our local diner, which has been super beneficial because she's done a really great job at networking and meeting all these awesome people that will help get the property ready. So I think her networking skills is really gonna benefit us in that way. But she's had a guy, and I can't think of his company right now, but he has already put in the permit for the driveway. And we're making sure, our big thing with the driveway is that we're making sure it's wide enough that we can bring in trailers. She's got an RV that we're bringing in. And eventually when we have a horse trailer, which is on the vision board, when we have a horse trailer that it'll be wide enough for that. And we want like a two-way gate kind of situation. My husband and I had thought maybe it would be better to put the driveway at the corner of the property, and I'll kind of give a photo of it on here just to kind of give you an idea of the layout. It almost looks like a baseball field because we've got the corner piece of property with the pond being at the far right end of it. But we had thought about putting the driveway at the top in the corner because we thought as we're making that corner, we could really get the RV or any of the trailers in really easily. But then we come to find out that there's a telephone line or such there, and doing the culvert and everything would be really difficult and such. So that didn't end up working out, or we could have done that, but it would have been like $2,000 more. And it just wasn't worth that headache at the moment, because we are in the future, we would like to do some type of like U-shape type of driveway, so that way you can kind of just drive around out and easy with horse trailers and such. So at the moment, that is not what we wanted to do. So we've kind of moved the driveway to the other side of the property. And that's kind of where my mother-in-law had told them originally. So it worked out really well because he had already put a permit in with the county. So he's actually able to go and start that today, which is July 20th. I think he said he was going to have a few people go out there and do some layout with it today, and then going on with that. My mother-in-law did close on the property mid-June, and that is when we were in Georgia still on vacation, right before we found out we were going to be there for a month because of transmission issues. And so that's our big first thing is the driveway. And I think he is also going to be putting in our septic tank, and he's going to put out like a gravel layout for her RV, because we had gone back and forth on putting down a cement platform for her. But then we were thinking, well, if that's not like a permanent position for where we want that RV, if she wants to move it, or if she ends up selling it and gets a house, or whatever she ends up doing, right now we know we don't think it's going to be permanent in that area. So we don't want to put cement down there. So right now it'll probably be some type of gravel, and of course we'll be cautious about wash and such with the RV. So he'll, like I said, do the driveway, the septic, and the gravel for that, I believe. And then our next hurdle was electricity and getting an electrical pole out there. And so my mother-in-law, went out there today, and she was supposed to meet the electricity lady, and she said she was out there, but she didn't actually show up or she got lost or something happened, so she didn't end up being there. And then my mother-in-law called them, and they were saying that oh, well, now you need to get an address. And we had known that, but I guess it's just been a lot going on. We're trying to get all the paperwork situated, and we're, new to this all. So then we had to do the 911 address. So I just filled out that paperwork today. They got back to us and said that it could be up to 10 days before we get anything, because it takes 10 days. It could take up to 10 days to process. And then I did put a request into like maybe having a 9 in the address. I'm kind of like really into numbers, so we'll see. I know it's kind of sounds silly, but it's worth a shot of asking. And then water. So I think water is probably going to be one of the biggest hits for us, because we can get a water meter, but it's across the street. So we need to do a bore, I guess they call it. I think that's the right term, where they have to go under or had to dig up the road to get it to go under or such. And that's going to cost extra money. So that's kind of a little bit of a hit. Yeah, so that's the first few things, is the driveway, making sure the driveway is wide enough. And then we're getting electricity and the water, and the address. So those are the big first steps we're doing right now. And once we have water out there, that's gonna be really great, because when we do the chickens, and if we want to do a garden, we want to get some trees out there, then we will be set. It's just doing all of it is kind of a little bit of a headache, but I think it'll be worth it, because now we have we can customize it to our liking, which is nice. Of course, if we had bought land with a house on it already, we couldn't customize it as much. So I'll keep you guys posted on the driveway progression, and then all the progression, like when our pole's going up, where the pole's going, where we decided to put it, and kind of walk you through all of that. Because I know with our driveway, it was like such a huge thing. We went out there the other night, and we had these little flagpoles, and we're trying to these little yard flags, and we were trying to figure out where we wanted to put everything. And like I said, we wanted that corner piece, but it just was too costly to put it there. But eventually we would like it to kind of do that U. And where my mother-in-law wants her RV, we have to think about how the driveway is going to get to that, but also not get in the way of where we want to put a permanent house possibly in the future. So that was that was more of like strategy than I thought there was going to be. So but it's a learning learning curve, and it'll all end up being all right. So I'm kind of excited really to get the land working and doing something, like with the chickens or with some gardening or such. So that's what I'm really excited about. I know I need to be more excited about getting like the housing stuff done, and then getting this house ready to sell and such, before it's too late and we can't make anything off the house or more than what we paid for it. So that's all the fun housing market stuff that we're still kind of navigating too. So all right, well, it's just a short and sweet video of where we're at. Driveway, electricity, water, and address are the first 4 big things that we are tackling. So yeah, make sure you stick around, watch, so you'll be able to see those videos of all the progression of where it'll be. Talk to y'all soon.